welcome to uh, my brand new movie show. Um, let's see here. My very first guest is pretty rad. His name's Adam Madrid, and he is responsible for the LOL uh, Jacksonville Film Festival, or Jax Film Festival, and the 48-hour film project. And my goal for this new live stream that I have going on is to raise funds for the filmmakers and the local independent theaters that's in my area, which is like Sunray Cinema and the Core Zone Cinema and Cafe. And I called it the Saturday Night Cenobites to honor my mentor out in LA, Clive Barker. So that's where the name came from. And the old design was from my pal Charlie McMullen, which was part of my music and comedy festival in Colorado. And so I just re-edited and changed it up a little bit. So shout out to Charlie for doing the artwork. But without further ado, this is Adam. Hey, Adam.
Hey, so how you doing, man?
Great, thank you, bud.
Yeah,
Let's talk about. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime. And we've been trying to get you to interview each other, but the COVID kind of knocked everyone off their rocker, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy situation, crazy time, but hopefully things are getting better. I mean, I know it's slowly, seems to be getting better, but I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather it'd be sooner than later. I'm sure a lot of people are anxious to get back out there and have fun again.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. Let's go and dive into your film career, and we'll start off with the LOL Jax Film Festival. What inspired you to start the LOL Jax Film Festival?
Well, it was actually like we've seen some greats here in Jacksonville from Mac McDonald and Richard Kodai, and we were actually attending Jacksonville Short Film Showcase, and what it was a collection of Jacksonville filmmakers here, and they would reach out to Richard and give them their shorts, and it was at Sunray Cinema. It's just great to see like our films that we created on the big screen, and we felt great because we got to share with a bunch of our friends, family, people that we never knew, and then we got to like network and talk with afterwards. So we went. There was a Jacksonville Short Film Showcase, and there was a Jacksonville Short Film Showcase, but it was a horror edition. And it was like, so that was awesome because like, so we did this movie called Uninvited, our group, Josh, Jeremiah, Mike, and we did it with Argyle Forest Films. We submitted it, got it shown, and Monique, talks to me, and Monique's my wife, but she's the one that's like, comes in my ear, she's like, hey, did you ever think about like probably doing a comedy one? And I'm just like, where we'd have like comedians, stand-up comedians, comedy short film show with locals. And like musicians and stuff, and I was just like, well, let me think about it. I mean, that's something that sounds awesome, but I mean, it's like I don't know, And we watched this movie from Marshall Malone that he submitted. It was Upside Down Creative Media, and it was like this guy that was getting possessed by the devil or Satan, sorry, whatever. And then it's kind of odd. I'm not selling it right, whatever, but it was hilarious, and we saw the crowd laughing and everything. We're just like, let's do this. Let's make this happen. And but I actually reached out to Richard first because I felt with Richard it was like more about respect. Sorry, I just got something in my throat. I don't know why. I'm not crying or anything. So I just reached out to Richard and I told him about the idea. But I said, hey, if you're gonna have a comedy one, we're not gonna do this. We don't want to. The thing about it is we don't want to step on anyone's toes here in Jacksonville and everything like that. I just felt like it was just the thing to do, especially because we were attending his event and everything. And Richard, he was like, no, you guys do it. You guys go ahead and do that. That'd be awesome. And from there, we started planning when we were unique and made things happen. So.
Yeah, here it's coming up here in August 1st and 2nd, hopefully. When's like the deadline and all the entries start and all that good stuff?
Yeah, that's well, like I said, right now, people are submitting, which is actually cool. We're getting several submissions in, and it's pretty awesome. Like I said, we have a lot of talent here in the city in Jacksonville, and it's just funny. It's just great to see like great comedy shorts and comedy skits as well. That's another thing that are coming in, and like I said, it's just a time for people to laugh. And we always say, don't be afraid to laugh and be afraid to smile. I know, yes, there's a situation going on, and it's affecting the world, and people are freaking out. There's all this fear and everything in the world, but for us, it's like, just remember, it's don't be afraid to laugh and smile and have a good time. So like right now, with everything going on, we are getting submissions in. We actually have some people that are actually filming stuff, and they're trying to get in. The deadline is June 30th, and the event will be held on August 1st and 2nd at Mosh Museum, and it's gonna be at the Brian Gooding Planetarium.
Fantastic, and it's such a great thing that you and Monique and Jen are doing for this scene, both film and comedy. And
Jen Weeks, man, I can't say enough about her. She's amazing. She's been our host since the beginning. We had this idea back in 2016. 2017 was the first year we did it. We asked her, like, when we were thinking about it, it's like, all right, the host, Jen Weeks. It's like, for us, like, Jen was like a person that we loved and we just talked to in the past, and I was just like, let's just Jen. And then she was on board, and she's been our host ever since. And it's just, she's amazing. So.
oh yeah, I love seeing her perform stand up in the Jacksonville scene. And Jacksonville has a really great stand up comedy scene too. So there's a lot to choose from, and
Yeah,
all that good
absolutely.
stuff. A good medium sized one, not too large, not too small, just perfect.
It is, and what's great is last year we start. I mean, obviously we've been doing it where we had this local stand-up comedians participate in the event as well, and then last year was the first year where we started doing a competition of comedians submitting in, like I said, submissions to. So we're going to select two stand-up comedians for LOL Jackson. Last year was the first year, so we gave them, like I said, a prize, or rewarded them with cash, and like, just wanted to thank them for being a part of it, and it was awesome that they were a part of that whole thing. But this year we're going to be doing the same thing. Starting on June 1st, we will have an open stand-up comedian competition, basically, and we're going to select two comedians. And like I said, yeah, we'll be unveiling that here pretty soon. So
Awesome, perfect. And let's see here. Um, and it's sponsored by Kessler Creative. So this year, I believe. So
yeah,
how do you link up with them? With them?
well, they believed in us from the very beginning. We were actually looking for some, for regards to print, step and repeats, programs, just a lot of stuff that we were looking for, and trophies and everything. And Keith Kessler, we had a meeting with all of them there, Kat at Kessler Creative, and they did an amazing job with everything. From we were helping us create a logo, to the print, to programs, to posters, everything, and they've been our amazing partner since the beginning, and they've been riding with us ever since. And they kind of went into now, because me and Monique are the city producers for 48 Hour Film Project here in Jacksonville. So now they're helping us along with that as well, because they believed in our vision. They believed in what we had, and it's just incredible that we're partners with them. So
That's pretty rad.
yeah.
Yeah, and the 48-hour film project that's coming up here. Where can they register and all that good stuff? And we'll dive into that as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. The 48-Hour Film Project. They can go to 48hourfilm.com/Jacksonville, or they can find us on social media, which is kind of scrolling down here or whatever too as well. But yeah, they can look at Facebook. They can do Jacksonville 48-Hour Film Project. On Twitter and Instagram, you can do it at Jax48HFP, and you'd be able to find us there. You can register your team. The competition will actually be held the weekend of August 14th through the 16th. And the screenings, we're going to have screening A, B, and C, and a best of. And A, B, and C, so it'll be August 25th, 26th, 27th. And the best of will be actually presented by Jack's Film Bar Mondays. It'll be on Monday, August the 31st. And it'll be the same place. We got a partnership with Mosh Museum, so they're going to have the screenings there as well at Brian Gooding Planetarium. So
that's pretty awesome. That place is so cool.
Oh yeah, they're so amazing. The people there that work there are just like, from Brett to Lydell, Elizabeth, everyone that's there, they're just amazing to work with. So we were so glad to be a part with them.
Indeed, and the bar scene for the filmmakers is just incredible. It's like a big old family that I went to the meetings. And how'd you link up with those guys?
Oh wow! I mean, this was like a long time ago. A couple years back, Laura Blair. I remember she was putting out stuff online on Facebook and saying, "Hey, we have this Jack's Film Bar Monday thing," and it started with a couple people. We met up at Bay Street Bar and Grill, and like I said, there was just a couple people hanging out, and eventually it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, this film scene just got bigger and bigger and bigger at that same time. And a lot of people were like supporting one another and telling them about events that were going on. Anything to do with local shorts, local films, local feature films, anything like that. We'd be discussing, talking about, but also talking about not just what we're doing. We're also talking about film. Like let's talk about what's your favorite movie? What characters did you like in this certain film or whatever? So it would be film talk. Like so there's some people that there's different groups, like people like that do different things, and this happens to be a film group here in Jacksonville, and like I said, it's just grown amazingly, and it's pretty cool to talk to a lot of people and network. That's another thing too. I mean, again, a lot of it is just hanging out and talking to one another, but networking is a cool thing to be a part of and just to talk, and everyone has a passion for the same thing. So
Yeah, when they had the shorts, then when I got the chance to sit with you all and Monique and stuff and watch all the shorts with Tim and everyone, it was just so amazing how great the quality was. Like everything was like really amazing, from like the animations to like the horror, the comedy, just everyone was just amazing. I was like, there's a lot of great talent in Jacksonville. I was just amazed,
yeah, no,
you included.
it's amazing. Yeah, like I said, and that's what we're excited about when we do this, the event. But also, like I said, I mean, there's all these events that happen that highlight these filmmakers here in Jacksonville, which is great. Because again, that's what it's about: supporting one another, and that's what we're very proud of in regards to. You want to support one another. It helps people. It helps filmmakers. The filmmakers that are coming up, that are new student filmmakers, when they see professional quality films on the big screen that they know was filmed here by local productions, local actors and actresses, and to see that on the screen, and then they have their films sometimes shown as well along with their films, that gives them an opportunity to talk to some of these professional filmmakers, these amazing quality films, and ask them like, how did you do that? How'd you get that shot? Oh, this is great. And that causes a great networking opportunity for people. And that's why I feel it's important for what we do with LOL Jacks is that, we're mixing, we're blending in not just professional films, but we're blending in some films that you look at and it's like, that's really good. And again, you see where they're going with it and everything like that. And I think it's important to have those films blended in with the amazing talent that we have here in Jacksonville, because again, what it does is it gives a networking opportunity for after the films are done, come to the after party, which will be up on the rooftop at Mosh, and network, talk to people. That's how we got started with a lot of this stuff here is we talked to some of these amazing professionals that we saw on the screen along with our movies, and our movies were, but obviously we got better to the point where, like I said, we were winning awards and, being recognized for our work, but we want people to feel that way and not feel like they're being ignored. We want them to feel appreciated in the city, and that's what they deserve. The filmmakers deserve to be appreciated.
Absolutely. And especially the scene, man, it's just amazing. I love everyone that I've met so far. They're just fantastic people.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and it's amazing how you bring all those filmmakers together, like in the city, just to and for them to compete at Filmapalooza and next year and Cannes Film Festival too. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome because there was an opportunity for these filmmakers to get a chance to have to compete against the world. So their actual movie was competing against the entire world, and then the top 12 films top 12 films at Filmapalooza end up going to Cannes Film Festival. Now before, like it was film, it's called a short film show, short film corner, film corner, and it was announced this year that it's actually all the films now from Filmapalooza that get selected are screened at Filmapalooza. At Cannes Film Festival. So that's actually a great thing because, I said it gives, again, more people more exposure. And also it gives people that opportunity to network with worldwide filmmakers, that are top of their game. And, and I'd like to say, because like a lot of times, sometimes 48 gets a little flack because it's like, I don't have time for 48, even though, 48. And I feel like sometimes it's challenging, and that's what it's supposed to be. Like I said, in the end, though, we tell people have fun with it. Have fun with it. Yes, it's a competition. Yes, somebody's going to win. Yes, that's the whole thing about it. But just remember, if you're having fun doing it, then it's just you have a weekend where you're with your friends, your family members, or you're doing a movie by yourself. Like I said, but you have an opportunity to make something happen and share it with a film community. And then, like I said, if you win, you go on to compete against the world, and now your film is being shown to amazing filmmakers from all over the world. At that point, at Film Blues, you can network with the person, and then who knows? You may have a chance to have your film shown at Cannes, which unfortunately this year didn't happen. And then so it's just like I don't, again, I don't know what the update was with Cannes Film Festival. They're pushing it, or they're trying to do the streaming online, the virtual stuff. So I don't know what's going on right now at this moment.
And I've always seen like photos of the place, like those massive red carpets and everyone all dressing all fancy. And I'm like, man, one day I'll get to experience Cannon, probably go on like Quentin's boat or something like that and just party with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But those are some pretty cool photos that I think of, like when I think of you and I think of like how your connection with Cannon and Filmapalooza and stuff like that is just, it starts at home and then it just like, takes the world on, and you set it on fire and it's just amazing, and you just run with it.
Yeah, no, it's important too, because like I said, I always use this phrase, and I know it's drawn out and played out and everything, but we're not New York, Miami, LA, Atlanta. We're not those cities. We are Jacksonville. But I always tell people never make an excuse for doing that, for saying, oh, it's Jacksonville. No, like I said, we legitimately have amazing talent in this city, amazing actors, amazing actresses, amazing filmmakers here, and they deserve their recognition. And why not? I mean, like I said, they make some incredible films, and then once they go on to bigger things, like I said, you have the opportunity to do something with it. But like I said, again, that's why I always say it's like we have this amazing talent. And I kind of compare it to like Austin. I've actually talked to the city producer of the 48 Hour for the Austin one, and she also helps out with the South by Southwest there in Austin, Texas as well. And I mean, she is an amazing person that has like this feel in Austin that there's a local film community there that's just huge. And again, they're not this big city, but they have that big city mentality of doing things with their film community. And that's why I feel with Jacksonville is like, we have that here. And like, we're just continuing to grow. We have so many filmmakers now that are making feature films, independent feature films that are going on to get distribution deals, and they're on Netflix, Amazon, they're getting stuff done. They're making things happen, and they're not sitting around waiting. So that's actually a really cool thing that we're seeing here in the local community.
Absolutely. Whether it's no budget or big budget, it's, just go out there, have fun, and
right.
Don't worry about the money. The money will come back later, hopefully.
Yeah. I have that same mentality. Someone told me before, because they asked, it was there in the interview, and they were like, so, why do you want this job? Why do you want this? And I was like, money. Duh. It's just like, I wanted money. And then they're like, nah, wrong answer. I was like, he goes, what it is you continue to work and build and do what you got to do. Just keep building, as Will Smith said, brick by brick, like I said, just keep building, keep doing things happen. And guess what? The money's going to be there. The money's there, but don't have that with your mindset. So like with our mindset is like for LOL Jacks and, everything. It's like, our mindset isn't about like, we're not trying to get rich off this. We're not trying to do things. We're trying to do stuff for this film community and for this Jacksonville city as well, to where there's something exciting going on. There's a weekend to where everyone can leave all that craziness outside. There's so much drama in the world. There's so much, fear, and so much, all this is being thrown at them. That it's just like, give them a weekend to where it's like, here in Jacksonville, we can have, appreciate these filmmakers, these stand-up comedians, these musicians, all local here. And then also appreciate the local businesses that are here. And that's what we've been doing since the beginning, is appreciating local businesses. So now more than ever, it's a big deal to appreciate them even more, support the local community the local talent that we have here. And that's what, like I said, we're planning on having a big event, great event. Yes, I know, things are crazy right now and people are a little afraid to do events right now and everything. But, our plan is to continue on August 1st and 2nd. And like I said, let's just keep doing this thing. Let's not be afraid, and let's go have fun again.
Absolutely. And earlier you mentioned Argyle, and I want to know like how you linked up with your pals and all that good stuff, and all your awards that you won, and all that good stuff.
Oh man, well it's funny because Argyle Forest Films, it's my buddies Josh, Jeremiah Josh Stat, Michael Gesselbrock. Oh man, we were in elementary school, and we grew up from there. We went to middle school, and then high school, and then we talked about like one day making films. One day we're gonna do it. One day we're gonna do it, and we were just talking, and we finally just like started playing around with the camera that we ended up doing. Like I started off with like stop motion animation kind of stuff, whatever, and then we started like messing around with like these 5-second like clips, even before like Vines was created, whatever. We were doing like these 5-second movies, and just doing stuff to where we were kind of just seeing, why not? We were in a garage pretty much every weekend, hanging out at Josh and Jeremiah's parents' garage, and we would always talk about it and just like hang out and have a couple beers, just talk about, man, one day we'll make movies. And then there was an opportunity that came about, and 2007, like I said, Mac McDonald brought the 48-hour film project here to Jacksonville, and the 48-hour film project was already going on. It was in Washington D.C. in 2001, and then it just it grew into like an international contest. And Mac McDonald brought it here in Jacksonville in 2007, and I remember Jeremiah or Josh, they're sending me the thing saying, "Hey, you want to compete in this thing? This would be awesome." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Why not? This is that'd be fun to make a movie in 48 hours. Sure, it's a challenge. Awesome." And we did it. Our movie was horrible, and it was a horrible movie, but we loved it. I mean, that was our first movie. Like we had a bunch of our friends in it, and it was just it was just a lot of fun to do. So to have that moment when we saw it on the big screen, it was like a big deal for us because it's like we talked about it forever, and we finally got to do it. And so Argyle Forest Films was born, and it was great because, like I said, that's what I was talking about. We saw professional filmmakers, and we saw this one called Easter Bunny Superhero that was just like we watched it. We're just like, oh my god, how the hell was this made? 48 hours. It's like, this is awesome, and we were just like freaking out, like this is really cool. And then, but we had that brief moment that where we enjoyed our film, and we just like it happened, and then we saw that one. It was like, oh my gosh, that was, and it was just incredible. But that got me to network with some of the people that were on that set, and for me, it was about getting better at my craft and getting better at what I can do as a filmmaker. And every year I participated in it, and and it got to the point where it seemed like every year we were doing it. We weren't winning awards or anything. We were just kind of doing it for fun. It's like we're a bunch of our friends. We're hanging out doing films, but it ultimately became like we were like at the time. Lucci is an actress that was on soap operas, and she was nominated so many times. Like I think it was like 16 times or something. Never won, but every year she was always nominated. So we felt like we were getting to the point where we were getting better that we were getting nominated and stuff, but we weren't winning anything. And then so we kind of felt like we were the Susan Lucci of the Jacksonville 48-hour film project. And so we never won until we won this. We won a best use of prop for this movie called Look at the Bright Side. And it was about a talking lamp. Yeah, don't ask me about the talking lamp. It was just an idea that we thought of at 3 a.m. when we were making the 48. So it was about a talking lamp, one best prop. And then we just asked for feedback every time to how we can get better. And ultimately in 2014, we finally won. After all those years of doing it, we won for our movie No Laughing Matter. And it was about a clown who loses his job. And he tries to attempt to do other jobs in the regular workforce and fails at them miserably. And then it ends with a surprise twist. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. Argyle Forest Films. on YouTube, and our movies there, No Laughing Matter. And so from that film, we ended up getting going to the Chinese theater in Hollywood, and the movie got to be there at Filmpalooza. And that's why I said that was the important thing about winning is networking with all these filmmakers around the world, and that was kind of a cool thing. So
Absolutely, it's amazing how like you mentioned earlier, it's like brick by brick, and just keep building, and you never know, you'll just keep going, keep trying, be the Susan Lucci, get nominated, and eventually you'll win that award. So
right, yeah. So like I said, yeah. So for us, when we did that, it's just like it felt great, felt good, but then our mindset too was like, what's next? Because a lot of people kind of get stuck on that. I did it. Yes, I finally achieved it. Thank goodness. All right. And then, yes, you enjoy the ride. You enjoy everything, all the accolades, all the stuff. I mean, because of it, it got me working with the Jaguars here in Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars. It just like it was just a networking opportunity where I was talking to people, and an opportunity came about, and I felt like like I said, getting the recognition and seeing the quality of work that I was putting out. I got a call and saying, "Hey, would you like to work for the Jacksonville Jaguars?" Doing camera work and setting up cameras and all the stuff around the stadium. And I was like, "Oh, this is like a dream of mine." So for that to happen, that was really, really cool. And so, like I said, a lot of things came about from winning that thing. A lot of doors opened up, and again, in my mindset though, for our me, Josh, Jeremiah, and Mike, it was always what's next. Like, okay, we won it. Great. We had this experience at California, Hollywood. Great. Awesome. We're enjoying the ride. But we were thinking, what's our next goal? What's our next thing? And that's what your mindset has to be on. Yes, you were amazing at doing this. And, everyone, like reward them, appreciate all the accolades and everything. But think about your next move. Don't get stuck on thing. And that's what happens with a lot of artists. Like they get that number one hit. And it's like, oh, I made it. I got the number one song in the U.S. and the Billboard Top 100, perfect. But then their next one is like nothing. It's horrible, and they didn't have a plan. They didn't execute. They were riding on that wave of that number one hit, and sometimes you never hear from them again. It's just they had that one hit, and so it's just kind of hard to, like to do that. But you like to just have a plan. So
indeed. Yeah, it took me back to like the one hit wonders in the '90s, and I'm like, man, with like "Steal My Sunshine" and all that stuff, and I'm like, they're still great songs, but
yeah, oh yeah, Lynn, Still My Sunshine. Yeah, that was it was a great song, and it actually was off of the Go soundtrack. Not a lot of people know this movie Go, but it came out in I think 1999. And that song "Still My Sunshine" was on the thing. So yeah, it was a good song. But yeah, I mean, like I said, but yeah, you have that one hit that will stick around forever. It'll be. But yeah, that's it. So.
Speaking of soundtracks, what are your top 5 favorite movie soundtracks?
Top 5. Wow. Okay. All right. Dang. All right. Well, that's throw me the questions. I was trying to think. That's a good one. I love movie soundtracks. So I'll say probably one of the top ones I'll put out there is Batman Forever. There was a song called "Kissed by a Rose" by Seal, and that song, hands down, probably one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. and it came off of Batman soundtrack. So I remember I love that soundtrack. That was one thing that I would play over and over again. I'd say the Go soundtrack. I'm gonna throw that out there as well. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. There was No Doubt was on it. Obviously Lynn. Still My Sunshine was on that. There was an artist called BT. He was a electronic, house whatever, and he ended up working with NSYNC later, or whatever, stuff like that. But BT was another artist that was on the Go soundtrack. So I would say that would rank that one up, one of the top soundtracks. This is gonna be kind of weird, but I'll say Jurassic Park, just for the music. I mean, it's not there wasn't no songs. It was just the music itself. The original score from John Williams. I listened to that. I don't know why, but I would. Yeah, I'm trying to think of another one. Like one oh, all right, Bad Boys. Bad Boys had actually a really great soundtrack. Had a lot of people on it. Had Tupac, Biggie, and just had a lot of great artists on that one. So that was another one. there. Dang, I don't know, man. That's actually a really good question. I'll throw this one out here too. Forrest Gump had a lot of great songs because it was a lot of older stuff. Like I said, that played out throughout the whole movie, and it was a 2-disc. I remember that one. 2-disc soundtrack, Forrest Gump. So I feel that was a good one. I don't know why I just throw that out there.
Absolutely, and you bounced around with like horror and comedy and stuff in your film career so far, and I want to know like what are your top 5 movies, no matter the genre.
All right, top 5 movies. All right, let's see. Well, I'll say Jurassic Park's number one for me. That was the movie I remember watching, and I was just blown away. Like I couldn't believe that something like that was made, and it legitimately felt like it was a horror film. Like people were just like, "What are you talking about? It's an adventure film, with dinosaurs." And it was like, no, you think about it. I mean, these guys are stranded on an island with animals, creatures that are going to kill you, and then the only way off is getting on the helicopter. And velociraptors. I mean, you got T-Rexes. It's just like it was just crazy. And so, but I remember seeing that as a kid, and my cousin Michelle actually took us. I remember taking me and my sister, and we watched it, and we were just like so fascinated by it. My sister, she's always been my supporter with films and everything like that. So I always like to give her a shout out. So Vanessa, appreciate you for believing in my dream when I was little, and and pushing me to be a filmmaker. But Jurassic Park, definitely. And so Goodfellas, I say, I know that's always one of the top films for a lot of people too, but Goodfellas was just like storytelling wise, and the way it was shot. There was a lot of cool cinematography in that. I just remember like one specific shot where it was like he was in a phone booth, and it just did this crazy transition. I mean, this crazy move. I loved it. So that was that one. Rear Window, 1954. That was with James Stewart. James Stewart. Yeah, it was such a good movie. It was so well done. Alfred Hitchcock, so good. Other ones I'll probably throw out there because I was a big horror fan growing up too. My parents actually let me watch like A Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Michael Myers, Halloween. And then she'd be like, all right, time for bed. And it's like, what's wrong with you? it's like, who does it? What kind of parents? I was like, when they say like, where are the parents at? It's just like, yeah, we were raised on, me and my sister were raised on horror films and, like zombie films. So one of the films I remember watching was Night of the Living Dead, like the old black and white version. I remember watching that on TV once, and I was just like, "What is this?" And freaked me out. Like I'm to this day, I'm scared of zombies. I don't. I'm just like so. But I love them. I love zombie movies. So Night of the Living Dead, I felt like was at the time also revolutionary. Like in regards to you made a movie that was creepy as hell, and it was black and white, and at the time, I mean, just doing that, with the eating the brains and all this stuff, it's just crazy, So I love that one. The Dark Knight, I think, was one of my top films. I think it's probably 5 already, but The Dark Knight. I love Batman. I'm a big, huge comic book fan, but Batman is like up there. So I just thought the performances were amazing. Christopher Nolan's amazing. Heath Ledger just. I mean, he would have won the Oscar anyways. I know, with him passing, and it kind of like, oh, he won it because he passed. No, he won it because it was a great performance. So I just thought that one. I mean, I'm just gonna name out some movies. So like Go, I've talked about that already. Whiplash was another movie I thought was amazing. I thought that was like phenomenal. If you haven't seen Whiplash yet, I'd highly recommend that one. I mean, there's other movies, right? Just so many movies like Back to the Future, The Pursuit of Happiness, Social Network. There's some movies that are just like, man, when I watched it, I was like, that was amazing. I'll watch it again, kind of things. But I'll throw a curveball on one. I grew up a Rocky fan. I grew up Sylvester Stallone. I was a big fan of his, even though he made some horrible movies. But hey, like so he was making $20 million at one point for some movies, so he was doing something right. But a movie I really appreciated a lot was Creed. And there was a movie with Michael B. Jordan, and at the time he did like Fruitvale Station, and he was like an upcoming act. I mean, he was amazing at the movies that he was in, leading up to that. And Creed was just because I was attached to Sylvester Stallone already, and with Rocky and everything like that. So that had like a sentimental feeling for me because I really appreciated the way they transitioned towards like now it's about Creed, but Rocky is still his trainer and everything like that. So I don't know. I have a soft spot for that one. So I say Creed is one of the top films. But yeah, so I went off obviously more than 5, but it was kind of hard to do that and just like know the films that persuaded me to do stuff. So.
Oh man, indeed, and yeah, having to watch horror movies and going right to bed after, I still can't do that till this day. And like I just watch it in the daytime, and then I'm just like, okay, now I can watch a cartoon and then pass out. So cleanse
Yeah,
my brain.
I did that with. I remember my sister hates me for doing this. I'd scare my sister a lot when we were kids, and I played pranks on her. Like we were always pranking each other, but like our parents would literally have us watch horror films and then tell her to go to bed. And then of course my mind is like, oh, I'm gonna mess with my sister. And I had the Freddy Krueger glove. So I was, like I said, so I remember as kids, we went to bed and then I sneaked into her room and I had the glove over her face. And then I said that I did the voice, it's just like, sweet dreams, little girl, it's just like the whole thing. And she screamed so loud, and I was just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, what do you want? And yeah, that was yeah, she's mad at me about that. So yeah.
Man, that's good stuff. And so we got a lot of stuff coming up here soon with like your film festivals and all that good stuff. And remind the viewers when those are happening and all that good stuff.
Yeah, again, so it's going to be LOL Jack's Film Festival will be coming up here August 1st and 2nd at the Mosh Brian Gooding Planetarium. You can look up all the information. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can just look up at LOL Jacks on Facebook, LOL Jacks Festival on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us there. Submissions for that is going to be June 30th, so you still have time. And what's great, like I was saying before, is like we're getting submissions in. And it's just like it's so great to see, even during all this time, we're getting these submissions coming through. And we, like I said, we want to have it. We want to have this great event because I know there's a lot of events that, especially film festivals, that have been going virtual, and it's great. I mean, it's another opportunity. Like I said, some people are trying to think how we can get it because obviously there's gonna be a lot of people that are afraid, to come into a movie theater or come in, like I said, come to, like some. So I know there's going to be a plan set in place because obviously it's about safety too. We want to make people feel comfortable. We don't want to, you're not going to force people like, all right, everyone, we're going to come together in this one room here and then see what. No, we have a plan in place. We're looking at, like I said, what we want to do to make this a fun experience and something that's unique because this is, like I said, it's we're in a weird, crazy situation. But like I said, with Mosh, everything's opening back up here slowly, So like I said, that's why we stuck with August 1st and 2nd. Like I said, yeah, so you can submit your films. You can submit them at loljacksfestival@gmail.com. So you can still submit your films there. Also, the 48-hour film project. So we have it to where it was originally going to be, it was this weekend that we were going to have the 48-hour film project going on in Jacksonville. And we got contact from headquarters because we're only the city producers here. We can only do so much. But we were asked, like, hey, we probably have to push it, obviously, with everything going on. So we were notified that, like, a few weeks back. I think it was maybe like a month and a half ago. So we ended up talking to Mosh and we got the date secured. So, and then it was going to be at Hemming Park. So, which is cool, is Hemming Park's going to have us for the kickoff and the drop off. It'll be August 14th through the 16th. So on the 14th, you can come out. We'll be set up there about 6 o'clock. You can start coming out there. And like I said, in that time, we'll have to spin the wheel so you can choose what genre you're going to get. Like I said, we're going to have group A, B, and C. And then, we're going to have some food trucks. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of things going on with that. So that, again, August 14th, 15th, 16th, and then the screenings will be August 25th, 26th, 27th at, again, Mosh Brian Gooding Planetarium. Like I said, so, and then again, we're going to have another we're going to have a best of awards ceremony on August 31st. So that'll be fun that night. It'll be a Monday night. So, and then, we're just going to have a lot of fun with it. That's the whole thing about it. Is like, yes, I always tell people it's a competition, obviously. Everyone's, there's someone's going to win. But we are going to have like nominees. We're going to have nominations. We're going to have a Q&A of the filmmakers in both LOL Jackson Film Festival and the 48-Hour Film Project. Because we want to know these filmmakers after their films are done and screened. We'll have audience choice winners and everything. But during that time when they're voting, or they're calculating all the votes for the awards for audience choice, we want to have the filmmakers up right there and have questions from the audience and ask them questions about what they just saw and of their film and introducing their film and everything like that. So we have a cool experience for the local filmmakers that we have in store that we're really excited to unveil here pretty soon.
Absolutely. And if any of our viewers wants to jump in with some Q&A, you're more than welcome to. And we'll leave that open for another 4 minutes or so. And so that would give them time to type all that stuff in there. And man, it's amazing what you do for the Jacksonville community, Adam and Monique and just you guys, and I'm so glad that you're my first guest, and we talk and I remember us meeting up at Spooky Empire, and thanks for going to that little panel, even though there was not much people there, but you guys made it totally worth it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That was awesome. We had a good time.
Indeed, and man, and it's amazing what you do with your film festivals and stuff like that, and so hopefully everyone recovers from this COVID stuff, and that's why I wanted to start this new one, so that way all the funds might put the venue links, like the movie theater links on the bottom of our of our interview, so that way they can buy movies at those cinemas, Sunray and Corazon, to keep their doors open during this time. Because without them, there's no us, and and vice versa.
Yep, and I agree. Like I said, yeah, I mean, Sunray Cinema has been there for us since the beginning too. We had the LOL Jackson Film Festival when we started there, and Tim and Sheena there are amazing. They're amazing people. They're actually going to be doing a drive-in coming up on May 29th and May 30th, and those sold out. Those sold out within hours when they announced the tickets were available. So they're going to now look at some new dates for some new drive-in movies. But again, it's just supporting. We're supporting local, and like for us, that was like an obligation. Like we want to do what we can do, and obviously it's hard because there's so many great events that are going on in Jacksonville. It's kind of hard to push every single event because again, it's just so much going on, which is great, but like I said, yeah, we try to support as many causes, as many things to support local talent. Like I said, a lot of times, sometimes they offer like GoFundMe or anything like that. And sometimes we like to do it where it's not, we'll reach them directly, and just be like, hey, we can do, whatever we can do, and just try to support them that way, because again, I just feel it is a time to where we can give back. And I think that's what was important for us with doing the LOL Jackson Festival in the 48 is, one thing that our local filmmakers really appreciate besides winning awards is cash. And why not? Like I said, I mean, it's I don't want to say motivational factor or anything like that, but who doesn't like to win money? It's a lot. But what the funny thing about ours is with LOL Jacks is even when you win it all in $1 bills. So it's just so however you take it, however you want it, but that's been like I said, our fun thing to do. But like I said, yeah, we up the cash prizes, and like I said, it just feels like, filmmakers need to be rewarded, the right way. And like I said, this gives us an opportunity to do that because again, for us, yeah, we're not looking to, people are just like, wow, like I said, you guys have the successful event and everything like that. But it's like, yeah, but we want this to be bigger than what it is. We want this to affect a lot of people here in this community in Jacksonville. And what was one of the most exciting things that happened last year was we had people come to us and say, oh, this was a great event. This is awesome. And they had nothing to do with the filmmakers. They had nothing to do with anyone. They just said they just saw it on the news and they wanted to come out and support. And I think that's what it is getting the word out and for what we do. And that was a cool moment because it's like these people had nothing to do with, they were not friends, family of the filmmakers. It's like they just came out to support. And that's what it's about, having the local city of Jacksonville come out and support these amazing talents that we have here in this city. And that's our drive. That's our drive is we're making something exciting here in Jacksonville. And there are a lot of great events that happen here. A lot of great events. And I feel like a lot of them get they don't get the recognition they deserve, because like I said, there's just a lot of talent that goes on with when they do, events at clubs or, like bars and everything like that. And me and Monique, we like I said, we go out there and try to support as much as we could, as much as we can, like I said, and rightfully so, because if it's not us supporting it, then, what are we doing? Why are we doing this for? And, I feel that's an important thing to do is especially now, once everything gets, back on track with, I always just please support all the local talent as much as you can. There's a lot of people that were hurting at this time, with not working and everything like that. And then so for us, it's like I said, we want to make sure everyone gets out there and support. So
absolutely. And thank you again, Adam, for being my first guest. And
oh no, thank you for having me again. I appreciate it, man. This is awesome.
you're welcome anytime, bud. And I'm looking forward to seeing you down the road whenever this clears out. And
Yeah.
I'll be there. I'll do my very best to be at your festivals and stuff like that. I'll clear my schedules and all that good stuff.
No, I appreciate that, man. Same to you, man. Same to you. Like I said, again, we love to support, and yeah, like we were glad to see you there at the Smoky Empire. That was a lot of fun, man. That was a cool interview that you had. And so,
Oh heck yeah, bud. Alrighty, and give it up for Adam, and subscribe to all his and follow his socials that are on the bottom there, and submit your films to all his fantastic festivals in Jacksonville, and go out and support all the local filmmakers, and you're the best, and support your local movie theaters too, the independent ones,
yes, definitely,
because they're amazing, and Mosh too for having the festivals there.
absolutely, Mosh. Yeah, like I said, definitely go out. Yeah, check Mosh out. There are amazing people there, amazing things there at Mosh. So,
Indeed. Any final shout outs for you, Adam?
Man, I like to say shout out to Monique. I was always in it like that. I mean, like I said, she's like my sister's been there, obviously, pushed me and everything like that. And my wife Monique, man, she's just been there. She's been my ride or die, And yeah, like I said, every time we have something come up or a situation come up, she would be cool and calm, and she's like, "We got this." And so I say, without her, yeah, we wouldn't be doing this, man. This is all her. I'm just here. She's a driving force with a lot of stuff. A lot of the success here in the city is because of her. So I just like to say, she's amazing at everything she does. So love you, girl.
Awesome. And once again, thank you, Adam. And tune in next week on Saturday night Cenobites. And it's a pretty neat name. I dig it. And we're gonna shine some more light onto the Jacksonville comedy or the filmmaking scene. And we'll see you all next week. And thank you so much again, Adam. And we'll see you in the near future.
Absolutely. Cheers, man. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you too. Take
right,
care. And we'll end.